the Kamusari. Probably my favorite attack in the series. Ever since I saw Roger do that to Odin, I was just in love. Like, I have like a figure of that sequence that I like it so much.
The Kamusari?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Divine
Snap.
Departure. So this attack, obviously we just talked about, we saw Roger do it. And at that time, I assumed that that's probably the highest level of Conqueror's haki, right? Or at least the offensive aspect of it. Or, the highest application of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
he could
know what you
probably
mean.
destroy the earth if he really wanted to. But yeah, like firing off just Conqueror haki wave at you. Apparently, this is a thing that anybody could do, essentially, because Shanks is like 1-for-1 recreating this move. So I guess if you just have like that understanding of Conqueror haki and you could just create a freaking projectile out of it, you could do this move. And also, we knew that Shanks could do this for years, actually, because in the freaking video games he does this. Like in Pirate Warriors, he does the Kamusari, but he does more than that. Which goes back to the beginning of this video. Who Par or Side, you said that Shanks has like an ultimate move that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah, I was just
it makes sense that
parting the Red Sea divine departure. It just makes sense. Like when we got these panels, the moment Shanks said for his ally ships to move, I like paused and I was like, wait a moment. Is he gonna split the sea? And then and then he didn't, but then I was like, oh, we'll save that for the last saga. I
like to imagine his final attack would be like Jujutsu Kaisen, where he just starts naming colors. He's like, oh, red, and he just like destroys everything in front of him.
100%.
Oh, I think that'd be say like Ichibei from Bleach.
Oh, from Bleach. I mean, hey, if Shanks has godly techniques like that, I would not be surprised.
He will.
But okay, so we might have
what if all of his attacks are named after celestial dragons?
Oh, but that could be counterintuitive because in honor to them, that would be good. That would be the twist.
Because there's a lot of theories that he's a celestial, and then he even shows up to Rijwa like it's nobody's business. Dude. Like, what if he just starts landing attacks like not the Don Quixote people? Oh yeah, wait, no, he's the uncle of Doflamingo, Homing, right?
Homing. Yeah,
that's Mostgard. That's most. There's so many celestial dragons. Nobody cares about these guys.
Doing
Homing,
more
he just shoots a sword and it follows people. That'd be kind of cool.
Or like planetary moves, it's Saturn, Venus, Mars, like those kinds of levels of attacks.
Yeah, we could see
that'd be good too.
That.
Yeah,
but it's possible that we may have already seen what Shanks' ultimate move is, or one of his ultimates, because if it is following the game, because like I said, he does the Kamusari in the game years before he did it in the manga. His ultimate attack in the game is like he thrusts his sword into the ground, like King Arthur or something, and then like Conqueror's haki energy like plumes out of the ground, like all around him, and like I'll have it in the video, I'll give it to my editor, but it looks insane. So like if he is even capable of that, then yeah, for sure, we're in for like something insane. Like this is like island leveling stuff.
I mean, what? Like Sabo can do that too with his dragon's breath, where he just like plucks his hands into the ground and then
it's
explodes the entire arena in Dressrosa.
It's essentially that.
It's like that, but with Conqueror's haki.
Yeah, 100%. When you were asking about like the Conqueror's level that Roger had, right, and like the combative potential, I like my viewers know that I have like this huge Conqueror's haki agenda where it's like I think it's more nuanced than just combative stuff. I think that there's like a level of what Sai was saying, where it's like you could command something. I think at the end of the day, Conqueror's is like a command kind of thing of you commanding things. And even in that moment when Sabo blew up this Coliseum stadium, he sensed a core in the stadium and then targeted that and exploded that. And that was similar to like what Zoro was doing in Arabasta. As early as that, he was sensing like the soul of an object, the breath of an object. And I think when you were saying like island level, I think that these powers are going to make it to the level of like Whitebeard can destroy the planet. But yeah, like if someone willed it and if someone had the enough desire to obviously a select few characters, they would be able to get to that state where they could just recreate a marine, when Whitebeard like shattered Marineford and you saw the tectonic plates tilting. I think it makes sense that like at the end stages, if Emu or maybe the Gorosei, like those kinds of characters can pull out those things, I think it would make a lot of sense. And like these moments that we're getting at the beginning of the last saga should play as appetizers. Like these are appetizers. Like Luffy just came off of pre-last saga destroying an island with a single punch, right? That's what he was apparently capable of if the island didn't move out of the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a place where, you know, we need to create other dimensions, right? Like Film Red teased that idea, and something important about that, like if we're talking about third external sources to the manga, is the guy who directed Film Red knows the ending of One Piece. Like he knows it. Oda told him. So it's like he's not going to spoil the ending, but if anything felt foreign to you in that movie, it might be because to him, it's not foreign because he knows what the ending looks like, right? And in that movie, they come in and you know, Shanks-based movie, they come in and go to another dimension. They have like an otherworldly fight in another dimension. And I could see One Piece going there. We already have dimension stuff. So, you know, the sky's the limit, but not with One Piece. I think it's like the universe, like we're going to go to like Big Bang level. I don't even know what we're going to do with One Piece. It's exciting though, for sure.
It's going to be like when Broly's fighting Gogeta. They just pop into an alternate dimension for like a split second. That's how hard they're clashing.
Yeah. 100%.
But at least Oda will explain what's going on.
Hopefully. I mean, I like to think like in an SBS, he'll be like, well, this is what that dimension is. Like, here's how we created it.
At least that. At least in SBS. It's like, oh, I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
No big deal, guys.
I have no worries about that because even with Haki, right, he drip fed us that. Like in the pre-time skip was that every single time we're about to learn a concept, you can look back at countless panels and be like, yeah, that's what happened right there. And it was like a small thing that we didn't fully understand. We just accepted and then we moved on and then we learned about it. And I think Oda's going to do that. And it makes sense with like the pacing that he has right now and the amount of knowledge that we're learning, that like these new concepts won't feel foreign to us and it'll feel like fairly normal, unlike when power creeping happens in other series, not to name a few of them, but you know, it happens in there and other people don't like it. But in One Piece, I trust in Oda. I trust.
When One Piece goes on a power creep, they go on a power creep. Like Kid being one shot at 3 billion is pretty insane. Like Oda raised the roof in terms of power scaling. And I'm really curious to see where it goes. Because we saw this happen in Wano, right? Luffy got one tapped and then he got back up. And then by the end of that same arc, like I think 150 chapters later, Luffy is that guy now. He can go against the guy that one tapped him. That's how strong he got. So I wonder how this will raise the stakes for the rest of the series. Like, will Sanji get to somewhat this level? Because obviously Sanji fought Queen. Will Zoro get up here because Zoro did also fight Kaido a little bit? It's crazy to think about that, right? Like by the end of the series, we might have, you know, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei being able to withstand this divine departure and get back up. Whereas right now, I don't think they can because, you know, Kid, he's not exactly a weak guy, right?
Yeah.
His durability's up there, but he's still got one tapped. And that's where we have to be by the end of the series. So by the end of the series, a majority of the Straw Hats are going to be that guy. While we won't be Shanks level, we're going to be like around it at least.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least Red Hair Crew level.
I think Luffy's gonna dwarf it. I think what I'm most excited to see is where Ben Beckman's at. Because if it doesn't make sense to me if Ben Beckman isn't close to this, right? I feel like it would make more sense if Ben Beckman was not relative to Shanks, obviously, but like not absurdly below, you know? And if that's the case, then what about Lucky Roo? What about Yasop, right? Like, are they also absurdly strong? Because then it's like
Yasop.
Everybody's gonna be there. This is the red-haired pirates crew. They were known as like the most balanced
and they have the most tame character designs. Like half the red-haired pirates look like regular people. So I'm really curious to see how they're gonna fight. Right? At least for like Queen, like what? He turns into a Brachiosaurus and then he like shoots his neck at people like poop. We have King, who's a Lunarian. Kaido's a giant dragon. And then we have Lucky Roo, just a big dude that eats meat. Ben Beckman, a guy with the regular gun. Yasop, a dude with a bandana and a gun. It's like these are average dads just coming around, like rolling up the block and they're endgame fighters. Like, how are they going to fight? That's all unique. I'm average so curious to see how Oda's going to pull that off.
It's that dad strength.
It's always the normal
dad
people.
strength.